The setting looks like a real-life fairy tale. But inside Russia's majestic Bolshoi Theatre, for the dress rehearsal the night before the gala, fantasy shares the stage with a cold, hard reality. The COVID pandemic isn't over. The performance commemorating the life of one of Russia's greatest dancers, Maya Plisetskaya, mesmerizes. But prima ballerina Ekaterina Shipulina is taking no chances. Ekaterina Shipulina, who's 41, has danced everything from Swan Lake to Sleeping Beauty, and she's toured worldwide. But she says performing during this pandemic has been something no one could ever have trained for.
It's a very difficult time for everybody, especially for ballet dancer, because we can't work outside, online. Это безумно сложно, потому что, конечно же, мы поставлены в такие условия, в которых мы не можем соблюдать ни социальную дистанцию, мы должны снимать маски на сцену и быть с партнерами вот просто плечо к плечу.
The Bolshoi is obviously one of Russia's most treasured cultural institutions, so much so that they've never missed performances, not during wars or revolutions, for 200 years, except for now, during the pandemic. In the spring, after 34 employees and dancers tested positive, authorities did the unthinkable and shut the Bolshoi. But with financial losses of $100,000 a day adding up, and the very future of the venue at risk, the decision was made in September to reopen.
Мы социальные, да, и без этого никак не получается. Мы не можем быть только осторожными и думать о своей жизни. Нам нужно что-то большее всегда.
Потому что сегодня очень хорошее представление, и мы надеемся, несмотря на такие сложные условия с болезнью и погодой, получить удовольствие и насладиться этим зрелищем.
Audience members get their temperatures checked and wear a mask, although there's clearly lax enforcement, and seating is limited. It started at 50% capacity, dropping now to 25%. Still, the infections continue. 100 workers and artists are off now after testing positive, and even for this gala, 3 dancers had to be replaced at the last minute. 22-year-old Alyona Kovaleva, a rising star at the Bolshoi, lost out on a big role in a new ballet during the shutdown this spring, and she says no one wants to stop dancing again.
We're supposed to have our premiere with my partner in last season in May, but then the quarantine started, and so of course all the plans were cancelled. Of course, it was a disappointment, and like for everyone else, we all were stopped and thrown away from our usual world, from our lives, how we used to see them.
The dancers get tested regularly, as does anyone who goes backstage, but she says she can't get comfortable dancing in a mask.
That's very hard. I tried once, but I can't.
Nor, it seems, can the orchestra members either. They're all jammed together below the stage. This tribute to Maya Plisetskaya, who was born 95 years ago, danced at the Bolshoi into her 60s and died in 2015, is the highlight of the fall season, and its director was loath to cancel it.
I know it's dangerous.
Andres Liepa told us celebrating Russian culture and the ballet is too important to be stopped by COVID.
It's in our nature. You know, they're not saying, and we're not saying, we're not going to come and we're going to sit at home. We're going to perform, that people should feel that life is going on. And you know, if you close the theaters, if you close the concerts, then people feel more suffering just by not to having a chance to be in a part of the nature and culture.
There's a full slate of ballets over Christmas, including the classic The Nutcracker. But there's also nervousness. New cases of COVID-19 in Moscow are roughly 7,000 a day, and still rising, so it's hard to know how long authorities will resist a new lockdown and keep the doors of this iconic venue open. Chris Brown, CBC News, Moscow.